All right. One last question, sir. The president wants to pay for free community college, for increased child care, tax credits, by raising taxes on the wealthy, $210 billion over 10 years. And his argument is the same as it's been since he came into office. Take a look.
And we're helping to ensure that all Americans are contributing their fair share.
To pay our fair share, folks making $1 million or more, so that we can help folks who are struggling to get by.
Everyone pays their fair share. Everyone does their part.
Everyone does their fair share. Everyone plays by the same set of rules.
But during the Obama years, the top capital gains rate has jumped from 15% to 23.8%, and he'd now like to raise it to 28%. And the top income tax rate has gone from 35% to 39.6%. Question: what is a top earner's fair share of taxes?
You know, it's interesting you point out the capital gains rate that the president wants to make sure that Congress gets agreement to do. That brings it back to where it was under President Reagan. Somebody who I think you and many of us in this town believe was a record tax cutter.
The tax rate was when President Reagan came into office was 70%.
Which was, he was a record tax cutter. So we're going back to a capital gains rate, 28%, that President Reagan had and laid out. Now, let's also ask ourselves a question about this, Chris, which is to say, what the president is laying out is trying to close a trust fund loophole, which is to say, if you have a trust fund, when you pass, it ought to just be treated like any other asset that you have.
It isn't. Wait. It's not a trust fund. It isn't. That's a nice talking point. I'm sure it's been focus group. It isn't what it is. It is what somebody has saved their whole lives. They've invested in something. Now it's a question is whether or not you pay at the basis at which they bought it, or the value of it now. It's not a trust fund.
Well, look.
But let me just ask you, what is it? If I may,
let's agree to disagree on this.
What is a fair share of taxes for a top earner? Is it 30%? Is it 40%? And is there some point? This is the real question. Is there some point at which raising taxes on people hurts the economy?
Two things. What the president is talking about is taking capital gains back to the rate at which President Reagan taxed capital gains. Point one. Point two. Since the president has taken office, we've gone from 10% unemployment to 5.6% unemployment. The deficit has been cut by two-thirds. If labor
force participation was what it was back in 2009, it'd be 9% unemployment.
We've seen deficits cut by two-thirds. We see 10 million people with access to health care now. Health care costs growing at a slower rate than any time in 50 years. And we're creating more jobs through oil and gas and clean energy than ever before. So ask yourself that, Chris. What are the data telling us about what's happening in the economy? The economy is coming back. It's growing. But we are focused on a simple fact. For too many decades, with stagnant wages, the middle class has not gotten its fair shot. We're going to make sure that it does. We'll keep pushing this. This we will not trim our sails on.